Hello everybody. I know it's been a while, but it's that time of month again. Elders Letters and the Shepherd book, the latest Shepherd book has been released. Little early because they said it wasn't going to be until, I believe, October, November. So I was surprised to see that. I want to thank Petra very much. Appreciate you very much. And all of the PMO elders that help us get this information. You know, we appreciate you guys so much because we know, you're at risk. You guys are the ones at risk, not us, So we appreciate it. Okay, September 2025 for elders. Revised Shepherd. We are pleased to inform you that a revised version of Shepherd in some languages has been posted in the Forms section of the Documents tab on JW Hub. Additional languages will be made available as soon as possible. The full title has been changed to Shepherd the Flock of God, and the little symbol has been changed to SFG. This revision incorporates adjustments in organizational direction and terminology. Furthermore, the text has been simplified and the chapters have been reorganized. And that's the first thing I notice is the CSA is no longer chapter 14. They have moved it to chapter 9. And I'm going to be reading some of this chapter because there are a few changes and just some interesting points, that I noticed. The principal goal of this revision is to help elders handle their responsibilities using Bible principles. We encourage all elders to read Shepherd in its entirety as soon as possible. No, it's also to cover Watchtower's ass. Okay, then they tell you how to go get the revised version. Once you have the revised version of Shepherd, please delete any electronic copies of the previous version and destroy any printed copies because they don't want you to see what is in past ones. That's why we have been helping courts, because the Elder's Manual, courts need the Elder's Manual for at the time of the abuse that the elders used at that time. Like the case in Crystal Lake, we were able to get them the Shepherd books during the time period of when that poor little girl was being abused. See, and Watchtower shows up with their latest version, and no, the court threw it out, and they wanted the ones that went back to when the abuse happened. And that is really important. And that's why we hang on to all of these copies that, Atlantis has given us over the years, because that is what is good in court, and that is what can be used. All right, I digress. But I just thought you guys would want that little tidbit of information, because not many know that. And this is why they want the electronic copies deleted and the hard copies destroyed. See, like I said, it's to cover their own asses. They don't care about shepherding the flock. All right. Inform your service overseer if you need a Braille edition. Revised Shepherd Addendum. We are pleased to inform you that a revised version of Shepherd Addendum has been posted in the Forms section of the Documents tab. The full title has been changed to Addendum to Shepherd the Flock of God book. And listed below is an overview of the significant changes from the previous version. See, because they always tell elders, now be sure to pay attention because these are changes that we have made. Paragraph 19 chart. Deleted reference to the notification of appointment or deletion S2 form and S52 acknowledgement letter. Any notification of appointment or deletion forms S52 acknowledgement letter should be removed from the congregation file. Congregation's publisher record S21 for the an inactive, unbaptized publisher will no longer be retained. Interesting. The congregation is not going to retain those anymore. Paragraphs 21 to 23 inserted direction on using third-party software to manage congregation activities and records. Interesting. Instructions for our Christian Life and Ministry meeting. A revised version of instructions for our Christian Life and Ministry meeting is available on jw.org and in JW Library. Below is one significant change from the previous version. Paragraph 17. During the review portion of his concluding remarks, the chairman may now invite the audience to comment on points they found beneficial as time permits. Life safety and loss prevention at Kingdom Halls. We are pleased to inform you that a new document entitled Life Safety and Loss Prevention at Kingdom Halls has been posted in the Forms section of the Documents tab on JW Hub. This document will assist bodies of elders, Kingdom Hall operating committees, and those assigned to oversee maintenance and cleaning at the Kingdom Hall to carry out their assignments safely. It replaces the safety-related direction found in the previous version of Shepherd, Chapter 21, which tells me they've had some more accidents, losses, lawsuits. That's what that tells me. Caring for the spiritual need of inmates. You know, those in prison. We are pleased to inform you that a new document entitled Caring for the Spiritual Needs of Inmates has been posted in the Forms section of the Documents tab. And as far as I know, we don't have that one or the safety ones for Kingdom Halls yet. This document is prepared for contact congregations that have been assigned by the service department to care for prison witnessing. It replaces the direction found in the previous version of Shepherd. If you know of a publisher who is confined to a jail, prison, psychiatric hospital, or substance abuse facility, please confirm that the assigned contact congregation is aware of the publisher and is providing spiritual assistance. Wait for it. Adjustments to handling serious wrongdoing in the congregation, Form S-395. The direction provided in this document has been replaced by the revised version of Shepherd. Please destroy any electronic or printed copies of this document. Be interesting to find out if they're going to still destroy evidence. And keep quiet, don't say anything. Keep everybody updated if we hear anything. References to Insight on the Scriptures. Beginning in September 2025, references to Insight on the Scriptures in the Life and Ministry Meeting Workbook, Talk Outlines, and other publications will change. We will now refer to Insight articles using the article heading and paragraph number rather than the volume and page number. Well, yeah, because that's old light and they got to get rid of some of that. The paragraph numbering will follow the digital format of Insight rather than printed edition. However, please help any publishers who use the printed edition of the Life and Ministry Meeting Workbook to get accustomed to the new format or standard. Congregation Service Committee's review of Pioneers Field Service activities. Any regular pioneers who do not reach the annual requirement and determine if they should be allowed to continue pioneering. I don't see why they wouldn't get it, because isn't it only like 30 hours now? All right, the rest is just the usual stuff. Be sure to read these announcements. Care for the needs of the blind or those with low vision. Reading speakers and interpreters. Caring for the spiritual needs of incarcerated publishers. Only for elders in the Central Europe Branch territory, they're looking for qualified technicians in electrical work, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and plumbing needed. So they probably need construction workers, building and updating. I know some of the branches are getting like overhauls, you know, they're doing remodel on those, additions, adding to those. Announcements and reminders for the congregation, resources for the blind and those with low vision, worldwide campaign. They need qualified technicians in construction, maintenance, or disaster relief projects. 2026 International Conventions. We are pleased to inform you that the governing body has given approval for 19 international conventions to be held during the 2026 convention season. You can apply, applicant requirements. So this is mostly if you want to apply to go to the international convention. Please read these during the midweek meeting and post it on the information board. Announcements for congregations 2026 international conventions: Douala, Cameroon; Curitiba, Brazil; Warsaw, Poland; Johannesburg, South Africa; and Milwaukee, United States. Yeah, rich blessings. Now I'm going to put the link down below. I'm going to upload these files to a file share, or somewhere. Maybe Petra has already shared it on JehovahWitness.com forum. If so, I will put the link down below. But there is also a PDF here that was included in this about grants. Several religious communities lose grant subsidies after new rules. Now, we know Watchtower has been fighting this because they've lost millions of dollars in some of these countries. And I know in Norway they've been fighting that one for years, and it's in the appeal process right now. A number of smaller religious communities have lost their government grants after new rules were introduced at the turn of the year, reports the newspaper Dagen. Most are due to having too few members. The new rules stipulate that all communities that receive government grants must meet what is called a democracy condition, defined as a tool to ensure that the state does not finance activities that conflict with society's fundamental values. Well, we know Watchtower, that right there tells me they should be disqualified because they violate all of our human rights and destroy families and do not report CSA. Yeah, long list of why they shouldn't qualify. In addition, the number of people served, i.e. members or regular visitors, must be more than 2,500, and in addition, the community must have operated in Sweden for at least 5 years and have the majority of its operations financed by residents of the community. Now, there is a link here. According to Dagen, the SST Authority, which will process applications for state grants starting this year, has so far denied 15 of the 45 communities that applied, including the Seventh-day Adventist Church and a number of Orthodox and Protestant minority churches such as Danish and Latvian churches. At the same time, the SST's investigation into a number of other communities is still ongoing, including the Humanists, who were granted the right to register as a religious community as late as 2024, and Jehovah's Witnesses, who have received state grants since 2019. Interesting. So this is Sweden now, who is questioning whether Watchtower should get federal grants. I don't think they should. I mean, the billions of dollars they are raking in, not only in donations, but in property and of sales of property, and creating a real estate empire and all their other little tentacles of corporations that they're raking money in, and their stocks and investments. And we actually did a video years ago, thanks to Goat-like Personality, who gave us the information that in Norway, Jehovah's Witnesses were actually getting a subsidy grant from the lottery. I wanted to cover this chapter here, chapter 9 in the Shepherd book on CSA. The scriptures place the responsibility on parents to teach their children and protect them from abuse. Our publications and website contain much helpful information to assist parents to protect their children from abuse. One biggie, though, is if they know of a pervo in their congregation, they do not tell the parents. If an elder is friends with parents, he may quietly tell them, warn them, but as a general rule, they don't. Just like we know, even though they claim they call the authorities, they don't. Because like this, the first thing they're told to do if there's an allegation, call Watchtower headquarters. They go through the definition of CSA. And here at number 3, it's interesting because it says child abuse is a crime. The elder's handling of an allegation of child abuse is not intended to replace the secular authorities' handling of the matter. Elders comply with child abuse reporting laws and will not shield anyone guilty of such crimes from the secular authorities. Therefore, the victim, her parents, or anyone else who reports such an allegation to the elder should be clearly informed that they are free to report the matter to the secular authorities. Elders do not criticize anyone who chooses to make such a report. That is a change, because I know years ago they would be threatened to be disfellowshipped, excommunicated if you reported it. Oh, you're bringing a reproach to Jehovah's name. No, Watchtower, you've done that yourself. Mikey just put up a video yesterday about how Watchtower is deconstructing themselves. They're just deconstructing their own organization. And this has been a biggie. Handling CSA allegations. When the elders learn of an allegation of child abuse, even if the alleged abuse occurred many years ago, 2 elders should immediately call the service department. Okay? I stand corrected. They used to call the legal department. Now they're back to calling the service department because that's what they did years ago. If the person who is accused of the child abuse is associated with your congregation, the 2 elders should provide the person's full name, date of birth, and if applicable, date of baptism. The elders will receive assistance from the service department and, if needed, from the legal department. So the service department will decide if the legal department needs to be drug in. I wonder if the legal department is so overwhelmed with elders calling them on these alleged CSA cases that now they need help with the service department. Makes you wonder. This ensures not only that the allegation is handled in harmony with Bible principles, but also that elders comply with any legal obligation to report. Such a call should be made even in the following situations. The accused or alleged victim is a non-witness. That's a new one. The accused or alleged victim is not in your congregation. The alleged abuse occurred before the alleged perpetrator was baptized. The alleged victim is now an adult. The alleged abuse is believed to be a repressed memory. The alleged abuse is based on the testimony of only one eyewitness. Interesting. The alleged abuse involved victims who are deceased. The alleged abuse is believed to have already been reported to the secular authorities. So even if you think it's already been reported, you should report it yourself. It is unclear if elders from your congregation ever called the service department in the past about the alleged abuse. The allegation involves child pornography or sexting a minor. Interesting that they've added that, because I know of an elder back east that we had to report because his computer was full of child pornography. Yeah, it's sickening, isn't it? Sickening. And I'm to understand that someone in the family who found it, who is not a Jehovah's Witness, also reported it. So at least 2 of us reported it. There's some more information here. Now, this one was interesting. If the accused is a publisher, the body of elders should carefully follow scriptural procedures in the Bible-based direction in chapter 6. The elders should keep the following in mind. Here at number 2, victims can be accompanied by a confidant of either gender when presenting their allegation to the elders. That is new. Or at least I don't remember if it was in the last Shepherd books. But they don't have to go in there alone now to talk to the elders. If a victim prefers, her allegation can be submitted in the form of a written statement. Generally, in the case of a victim who is a minor, elders should be able to obtain necessary information concerning the allegation from the parents. If the elders believe it is necessary to speak with a minor who is a victim of CSA, they should first contact the service department. Now, I want to point out that this is new, and I wanted to emphasize it. Number 8. The congregation never considers a victim of CSA as having committed wrongdoing. That makes a nice change, because so many have been disfellowshipped. Look, we did a video about that circuit overseer, what happened in their family. Yeah, the victim was disfellowshipped. Is Watchtower going to go back and apologize and reinstate all of these victims? I doubt it. If the body of elders believes that a committee should be formed to meet with a minor because she confessed to being a willing participant in the activity with an adult, 2 elders should call the service department before proceeding. And then there's a subheading, how elders contribute to child protection. Now, this is interesting, because the elder should caution the person never to be alone with a minor, not to cultivate friendships with minors, not to display affection for minors, and so forth. As far as I know, that is new. That is new direction to the elders. The service department may direct the elders to alert the believing parents. See, the believing parents, if they're not believing parents, they're non-JWs, then no, forget them. Don't have to protect them. Okay. The service department may direct the elders to alert the believing parents of minors within the congregation of the need to monitor their children's interaction with the person. The elders should take this step only if directed to do so by the service department. Well, that's probably not going to happen then. So anyway, they have new direction on if they're moving to another congregation, the whole letters and all of that. So anyway, that is new for this month, and I appreciate you watching, and we appreciate all of you. And thank you so much for everything. And I want to mention real quick that for those of you who have been following the case with Mark O'Donnell, or maybe have given him money on his GoFundMe because he was wanting $150,000 to, get a lawyer. I have the court document, the judgment. It was just settled. And basically he admitted to wiretapping, and now he is going to be Watchtower's bitch. Yeah, because he has to pay a $215,000 fine. So, karma, for someone who has been, right up there with Lloyd, that little group of the boys club, and they wanted to be the, top dogs, and, I want to do this and do that and brag about it. Well, karma. Atlantis warned them years ago. I know that. He told me himself. He warned them, and he kept warning them. You have to be careful, and you can't do some of this stuff. And if you hack into a live stream meeting, don't go bragging about it. actually, you shouldn't be hacking into a meeting between attorneys and their clients because that's illegal. And Mark O'Donnell just found that out. So thank you for watching, and you all have a wonderful week. Bye.